Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, and today we'll be talking about modifying or modding our PS5 controller. Well, I have my PS5 for about 2-3 years now, and this is the first time that I'll be doing some modding on my controller on this PS5 because, like, to tell you honestly guys, I am quite hesitant on doing this myself because I think that, or I thought that it will be very difficult to do the modding, removing all the screws, making sure that everything went back to the way they are, maybe needing some hair dryer to remove some of the pasted components inside. But what our friends from ExtremeRate tells me is that this modding, this kit that they have sent me, is actually very easy to use and it's very user friendly. So this is what we are going to do today, and we will be making our first mod on our PS5. So we will be transforming this PS5 controller into a transparent PS5 controller with some changes on the buttons and the joystick itself as well. So let's go ahead and do that now. So now we are going to do this mod, and for this mod we will be going to use the kits from ExtremeRate. So they do modding kits for not only the PS5 but also for PS4. They also have Xbox controllers, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch as well. So, like what I mentioned in the intro of this video, this is the first time that I'm going to do a mod on my PS5. I feel a bit nervous in doing this, but with you guys, I will do this step by step. So what we are aiming to do here is that convert this PS5 controller into a transparent PS5 controller. Okay, so first things first, what we need to make sure is that we have the correct version of the kit to our version of the controller. So the kit that I have here is actually for a BDM version 010 or 020 of the PS5 controller. And what we have here is a BDM 020 version of the PS5 controller. So how do we make sure that we have the correct version of the controller? So what we can do is easily check the version of this controller to the ExtremeRate website that I will put the link in the description below. So you just need to plug in a USB-C to your controller and to your PC, and then from the website they will tell you which is the correct version of your controller. Okay, so right here I have already checked this with the controller. So let us go ahead and see what we have inside the kit. So for this mod, we will be using two different kinds of kit. So the first kit, the major kit that we have, is the cover that will change our PS5 controller into a transparent controller. And again, this is for version BDM 020 of the PS5. So here, not only do we have all the major parts of the controller, like the front and back, we also have all the buttons and all the trigger buttons of the controller. But for this mod, we will be using this additional kit that will not only change our controller buttons to a silver color, but this is actually made of metal. So we'll be using metal joysticks and buttons for our controller. So what we'll have here is a PS5 controller with transparent casing, as well as a joystick and buttons made of metal that is colored silver. So now let's go ahead and do that, first of all, by dismantling our PS5 controller into its bare bones components so that we can switch it out to our transparent cover for this mod. Okay, so to start off, we need to pry off our L1 and R1 trigger buttons. So how we do that is just push this in, the R2 and the L2 button, and we can just pry this out gently, and it should come up. Oops. Other one is here. Okay, and then the next one is that we need to remove here, pry this off, We just need to be careful that we will not remove all of these things. So once we have removed our faceplate in front, so this is what it will look like. So we have actually 4 screws that we need to remove. This one, and this 2. Okay. So what we need to do now is to pry all of this open so that we can separate the front from the back. So you just need to be careful and pry all of this. Oh, and we also have our 2 clips right here, so be careful with that. So now we have removed the back cover. Okay, and we have the screw that we have lost. Okay, so now here we have our cover. And first of all, we need to remove our battery right here. So we just need to remove the clip from here. You can use your hands doing that. There's your battery. Okay, so now that we have removed the battery, so what we need to do is to remove this cover right here with a screw right over here. So once you remove that, we need to carefully remove this strip right here. Carefully remove that so that we will be able to remove this cover right here with one side. And we need to remove all these connections over here. Just need to pull this up, this as well. So okay, and of course forgot this one as well. Okay, once we have there, then we can remove all of these things. So now we have our front cover right here. And we have here our bare bone controller. So first things first, what we want to remove, we want to remove our trigger buttons right over here. So in order to do that, what we need to do is actually to remove the screw over here, and we will change those buttons into the transparent button that we have on the kit. Okay, so what we need to do is to remove this cover right here, just like that. And then we can remove all the screws right here. Then we need to remove this cover right here and this one as well. Once we have that, we need to remove this. So maybe it will be easier if you use a instrument to remove this, but if you can do it with your fingers, also possible. But I think I just cracked my nails, so let me just get a tool that we can use for this. Anyway, we remove this first one, so this one is removed. And then now we can change this R2 button to the transparent colored one. So let's do that now. So now we have the R2 button, transparent one, and we'll place it right over here. Okay. And then once it's done, aligned, then to put this back in. So once we have placed that back in, we now have our R2 trigger right here. Place back the cover and the other cover. So this would be much easier if you have smaller fingers, or if you have the tool, the tong or the clip that can be used to handle this and push it in. So once you have pushed it in like this, then you're good. Then we need to do all of that to this side over here for the L2 button. Okay, now that we have both our triggers installed, we can install them back here on our bare bone controller. Okay, so now that's done. What we can do next is actually, let's remove this joysticks over here and install our metal joysticks. You can hear this. This is metal. Okay, so let's just place this in. Oops. Place this in. It's to be installed. Okay. The other one as well. Okay. So now we have our metal joysticks. Kind of looking nice now. So next up, what we need to do is to actually remove our plate right over here, and oops, all our buttons here as well, and place it on our new front cover right here. Okay, so let's do that now. So remove this, then remove the buttons. So we have all our 4 buttons right here. And we actually need to remove this and place this on our new cover. And we will use our metallic buttons here as well. So we have here all our metal buttons. So the only thing that is different with this is that it doesn't have our normal square, X, triangle we have here. So we need to make sure that we fit this in the correct positions. Our buttons are safely plugged in. Then, oops, we need to do the other one as well. So we'll use also our metal cover right here. Okay, so next thing I need to remove is, let's do this, remove this, and this one as well for the mute button. So let's get the PS button here and place the cover back here. Okay, and we have our mute button place over here. Okay, then we actually also need to remove this. Okay, so carefully remove this. So it's actually the same as what we did to remove this. So can put this here. Okay, so now that we have this placed, the next thing that we need to change or to close this one. So we need to transfer what we have right here to this guy. So we need to remove this. And now that we need to do is to remove this from here. So it depends if your chip is actually really sticked in there. You need to use a blow dryer, but if not, you can actually just remove this. Let's try it out first. Here, see, easy to remove. Once we have removed this, you can just place it here. Like this, and then we can place our new cover here to this one. But first we need to remove here from the old one to the new one. Okay, oops, let's remove this. Then remove here. Okay, so now that we have plugged this in here after peeling it off on the other one, so what we need to do is to just place this block right over here. So maybe I'll just do that. I will not screw this other side. I'll just screw the one that is on this side. So I need to place this in between two items like this. Then we can now screw this in here, and I'll keep the other one open. So this will be in line with the original plate that it only has one screw. So I'll just keep it like that as well. But if you want, you can also screw that piece over there, but I will not be doing that. Okay, so once we have this, this is now our touchpad for our PS5. So let's get our front plate over here and place our touchpad right here in the middle. aligning them just nicely over there. And we have the two buttons that we have over here for our screen capture and our options button. So we have two transparent buttons as well. So we just need to plug this in here and here as well on the other side. Okay, once we have done that, we're ready to plug our main body to the front panel of our controller. Okay, so let's place this. So I need to be careful on the connections that we have. Like for this example, we need to slot this in through here. So you need to make sure that this one is slotted in, and as well the bottom one should be able to see that on this side. Make sure that goes through. Okay, so make sure that everything is aligned, everything is in place. You can turn this around, see how it looks like in front. So you need to make sure that it's nicely placed so that even our joysticks are locked in place. Okay, so I think that should do it. Okay, so this is our plate. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug all of this in. Oops. Okay, so let's plug this, the top portion. Let's plug this here. Okay, make sure that the black line over here is on the top. Make sure that all the pins are inside. Same goes with this one. So if your fingers are big like mine, it's good to have like this tong to be able to help you insert all of this into the slots, because the space is quite small. So you need to make sure that you have either small hands or something to help you to plug all of this in. Again, making sure that all the connections are correctly placed. Okay. That should do it. Okay, and also have this one for our mute button or our mic. I'm not sure. I think this one is the mute button. Then you just need to, oops, hard to get. Okay, let me do it another way. Let's see this. Okay, seeing this, oh, catch this and plug it in right here. Okay. So once you have plugged all of those 1, 2, 3, 4 connections, so we can now place back this guy right over here. So this guy will sit right here. Okay, and there is one screw that we need to include here. Make sure that you screw that in, so that it will not get out of place, and it will actually hold the whole thing to the front cover. Okay. Okay, so once you have that, so we need to bring this back onto this location here. We have our rubber cover that we removed earlier, so we just need to place this back so that it will just stay in place, just like that. Okay, that should be good. Okay, once we have that, then it means it's time for us to plug back in our battery. Plug in the battery here, and then you can slot the battery right here, so it will stay in place. Okay, so now that we are done with that portion, we can get our back cover, and there is an included foam right over here. Now we just need to stick on this back plate. I'm not sure why they didn't stick this already, because there's no other place to use this. So, and you may forget to stick it in. Okay, or maybe if they are saying that maybe they don't want to put this, but if your battery heats up, it might damage your back plate. Okay, so once you have that ready, now we can place back our back plate cover on our controller, and this controller is looking quite nice with a transparent look. So let's just make sure that everything is aligned before clicking it in place. Okay, all is looking good. Just need to make sure that everything is aligned. You don't want to have any issues with our connections. Oh, before I forgot, actually we need to place this rings over here. Hopefully I can still place this. It will be easier to place this before placing the front plate with the back plate. So hopefully I can still, insert this guy right over here. It will keep our joysticks aligned. Okay, okay, and then the other one. Okay, so now let's go back with the business of this back plate, which I'm not sure why it is not going in as planned. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so just need to align properly all of the pieces. Just clip in. Okay, nice. We're looking good. So here's what our controller looks like as of now. So I still need to put in 4 screws. 2 screws on top, 2 screws at the bottom. Looking good, and we have our front cover right here. So in order to place this properly, you actually need to go inside like this and clip it at the bottom like this. Wow, it's looking nice. All that's left is our L1 and R1. So our L1 goes right here. And our R1 goes right here. Nice! So this is our modded PS5 controller. So now we have a transparent controller, okay, with metallic buttons and joysticks. Oh, this is quite nice. As you can see, It's working. We have our lights right over here and all our buttons. We are able to click all our buttons. And all our joystick as well. We have our mute button right over here. Okay. Okay, our mute button, I'm not sure. Okay, see, there's the light for our mute button. You can see here, let's focus that one. That's the light of our mute button. Okay, so that is it. What can you say about our first time modding a PS5 controller? I think it was done quite nicely, and I say that this is a good look for our controller. So you can see the insides of the controller, and you know, the metallic buttons are quite nice to the touch with the joystick as well. And yes, this is our first ever modded PS5 controller, and I quite like it. What do you guys think? Please leave a note in the comment section below. And again, if you're interested in the mod that we did right here, I will leave all the links for the components from ExtremeRate in the description below. Okay, so check them out. They're in Amazon, and they also have their own website. And again, don't forget to check the model or the version of your PS5 controller before buying the kit to make sure that it is compatible with your PS5 controller, because there are subtle difference between the different versions, like BDM010, BDM020 is different from BDM030, 40, and 50. Okay, so yep, this is our transparent PS5 controller. Nice. Okay guys, so we have officially done our first mod in our PS5 controller, and actually we have more mods coming up in the next videos. So we will be modding another controller and as well as the cover for our PS5. So do check that out when that video comes out. But for now, if you learned something in this video, click that like button, and of course don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more of our mods that we will be doing in the future in our PS5. And again, thank you guys for watching, and do rate our mod that we did in our PS5 controller. What do you guys think about this transparent PS5 controller with silver metallic buttons and joysticks? Comment down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!